I've seen the future of Pokémon Sleep, and it is Dream Shards. In this video, we'll discuss why I am still scared of Expert Mode, how I see the meta of Pokémon Sleep shifting, why I'm already planning 7 weeks past Amber Canyon, and how reliable Swalot is when RNG exists. Then, after you've heard me say Dream Shards so many times that it starts to sound weird, we'll conduct a sleep session together. The longer I've played Pokémon Sleep, the more I've been realizing the power of Dream Shards. In case there's any new players here, Dream Shards are a resource used to level Pokemon, basically the same way that you used Stardust in Pokemon Go. Okay, actually, I think Stardust is Dream Shards, that Niantic is dyeing purple, but that's probably a topic for a different video, so make sure you subscribe. The only other use for Dream Shards is to make your pot bigger, and I guess that means the pot is made of Dream Shards? Norley's manual here says to coat the outside of the pot in Dream Shards. I don't know how that makes the inside bigger, but who am I to argue with science? I'm an early days Pokemon Sleep player, not quite a day one player, because I missed the launch by like at least a week. But I think some context about where I'm at in the game 2 years in might be helpful for where and how the strategy I'll be discussing comes into play. Because some of you might be too early to make use of this, but others of you might be late to the Dream Shard meta. So to set the stage, I've hit Master 20 in every normal mode area. I have 14 Pokemon that are level 60 or higher. I have 23 Pokemon in the 50 to 59 range, and I have all of my ingredients pretty well covered with AAA and ABB options. I'm even working on secondary options for some of them. Okay, except for pumpkins, because that literally just came out, and avocados, because that's still in the future for my date and time. I feel like I'm doing all the right things. I've got my ingredient empire, I've got multiple healer options, I have a great Golduck, I probably should get a Dedenne, but I have a confession to make, and that is that I am straight up scared to be in expert mode. Now let me explain. I am not afraid of the difficulty. I've been able to hit Master 3 pretty consistently, and I've even gotten as high as Master 11. What I am afraid of is that by going to expert mode, I will advance slower in the game because I will not be getting enough Dream Shards to achieve my goals. How many Dream Shards do I need? Well, let's start with the pot expansion example. My pot is currently at 69, and I would like to get it to 81 in a couple weeks when Amber Canyon releases. That's going to cost 3.43 million Dream Shards. Now I'm over here sitting at like 2.8 million right now, so I'm looking good for at least a couple of those expansions. But the pot expansion isn't the only thing that I need Dream Shards for. As we mentioned, they're used to level Pokemon up. And call it a hot take if you want, but I'm starting to think that candy boosts in events are the main way to be leveling up Pokemon in this game. I'm past the concept of only focusing on lower leveled Pokemon to spend my Dream Shards on. And I think at this point, I'm even looking at my higher leveled Pokemon as options for candy boosts, which means a lot of Dream Shards will be going out the door. But let me explain some reasoning behind that to put things in perspective. Now, most Pokemon follow the same leveling curve. Some Pokemon lines like Dragonite, Tyranitar, probably Salamence, as well as legendary Pokemon and mythical Pokemon are on different experience curves than everyone else. But for most Pokemon, to get from level 50 to level 60, you either need 860 candy with 371,734 Dream Shards, or, on the other extreme, you need that Pokemon on your sleep team for 215 nights. Now, give or take based on sleep experience bonus or natures, but for an average Pokemon, you could get it from level 50 to level 60 if you have it on your team for 30 weeks straight. That's your overnight team when you actually get the experience. And to make things even more dramatic, I'm going to use the Pokemon Beware because it is only available at Lapis Lakeside. So, if I get my Beware to level 50, I then need 215 days of that Beware on my sleep team to get it to level 60, or I need all of the resources, candy Dream Shards, to make it happen today. And most likely, for every Pokemon, you're going to fall somewhere in the middle of those two extremes. The most candies you can get from a Beware spawn is 12, and that's if you get the 4-star Atop Belly Sleep style, which in all my time at Lapis Lakeside, I have gotten one time ever. It was just a couple weeks ago. So if you were able to get that sleep style specifically, you would have to get that sleep style 72 times in order to get enough candy to take Beware from level 50 to level 60. But you're probably not going to get the 4-star sleep style every time. You're going to get the 3-star, the 2-star, the 1-star, or some Stuffle spawns. And if you think 72 was already a large number, just know you're going to have to get a lot more spawns than that to get enough candy to go from level 50 to level 60. And don't forget all the resources you need to get it to level 50 to get started. But sticking with our 50 to 60 analogy, thought exercise, it's not an analogy, come on. Imagine you had a way to cut the number of candies you needed for that investment in half. That's where candy boosting events come in. Mini Candy Boost is an event feature that comes up periodically where you can double the EXP that a Pokemon gains in exchange for 4 times the amount of Dream Shards that it would typically take to level that Pokemon. During these events, you can double the value of 50 candies per day for a total of 350 throughout the course of the week. So that doesn't quite get your Beware from level 50 to level 60, as half of 860 would need 430, but you could have a Beware from 50 to 60 in less than 2 weeks using the mini candy boosts. Although we've only ever had a back-to-back mini candy boost one time, so it takes some planning. So that's 350 on one week and 80 candies on another, or however else you want to divide that between your Pokemon. But to make that happen during mini candy boost, you need to multiply 371,734 by 4, and that's 1,486,936. And yes, that's a lot of Dream Shards, but let's talk about timing. How long does it take you to get 860 candies? Well, the problem with the candies is RNG. First, there's your biological RNG, which determines what sleep type you're getting at night. For Beware candies, you have to get slumbering or balanced. And then you also have to rely on RNG to actually get you the spawns you want. Anybody who's hunted for a Stuffle will understand that this is not just an easy thing. And of course, you can get candies from your friends too, but I would guess that most of your friends are not at Lapis Lakeside these days, so you're probably not getting that much Stuffle candy. Now, of course, if you get your sleep consistency each week, you can get 6 handy candies, and there's other missions where you can get handy candies. So let's bump that up to say you could get 24 candies a week from items, as trying to average out like getting the mission versus not for handy candies. And so let's say with 0 spawns, you could get the candies you need in 36 weeks. Or if you're using the mini candy boost, you could get all the handy candies you need in 18 weeks. Oh, I should mention, we already mentioned this earlier technically, but 215 nights on your team is about 30 weeks. So you'd be better off just putting your Pokemon on your sleep team than trying to get handy candies for it exclusively, or of just trying to get the spawns to get the candies for it exclusively. But say we only need 430 candies. How quickly can we come by that almost 1.5 million Dream Shards? Now, I have a rather aggressive Dream Shard strategy, I think, because I'm pretty sure most players aren't getting 1.5 million Dream Shards every 5 weeks. But in theory, if it's going to take you 18 weeks to get the handy candies, and then maybe a little bit less if you were able to get some spawns as well, over the course of 18 weeks, if you were to save 83,333 Dream Shards per week, then over the course of 18 weeks, you would be on track to line up with your candy acquisition, and then you'd be ready for the next mini candy boost. Well, the next 2, because we already said it's going to take at least 2. But the point is, it's a lot faster to level Pokemon even at high levels using the mini candy boosts, and I think that Dream Shards are the more reliable resource to go get to make that happen. It just requires you to focus on the goal of acquiring Dream Shards and have the discipline to save them. So speaking of my aggressive strategy, lately my strategy has been to go to normal mode areas, like Cyan Beach in particular, and then get as many spawns as I can, get really high strength pretty easily, and then pretty much from Wednesday or Thursday through the end of the week, I'm running 3 Dream Shard Magnet Mons, a healer, and I'm switching out an ingredient Mon in the 5th slot to make whatever meal is most convenient. This way I get the rank up Dream Shards, I get the many spawns and higher leveled spawns Dream Shards, and I get those Dream Shards from my Dream Shard Mons. Then at the end of the week, because I have the Pokemon Go++, after I start my Sunday night sleep session, I wait a few minutes and then I use my EZZ travel ticket to go to expert mode, where I roll berries, where I get stressed about, wow, if I had these berries, there's no way I would have gotten this number of Dream Shards. And then I still get the expert bonus so that when I do feel brave enough to go to expert mode, I'll have it there. And actually, that's where I am right now during the Halloween event. For the past 2 weeks, I pivoted my strategy and took myself to Lapis Lakeside. Initially, I was hunting Caterpie and Ekans, and then I realized just how strong of a Caterpie or Ekans I would have to get to consider it worth investing over my Golduck, and I realized it probably wasn't worth it. And because I was working on this video script, that played a part too, because I realized just how important getting those candies are. So at Lapis Lakeside, I can get candies for Dragonite, Victory Bell, Beware, and another Dragonite that I'm apparently raising because I'm insane. Pokemon Sleep is a game for insane people. I want these Pokemon to be as reliable as possible, and that means I need to get them to level 60 as soon as possible. And I've been saving up lots of handy candies to put where I need them, but I've been actually hoping to save my handy candies and use them for the new Amber Canyon Pokemon. But what I'm really waiting for is another candy boosting event. I'm thinking that we will probably see a double week event for the Amber Canyon, and that will probably actually be announced before this video even gets out because of editing and stuff. And I would think that the second week of that event will have a mini candy boost, because typically we see that kind of pattern where new Pokemon get released and then they think, oh, you'll catch one and then you'll want to invest in it, and so here's a mini candy boost to help you invest in your new Pokemon. But the smart ones of us are not investing in the first ones we caught. Okay, I shouldn't say the smart ones. Casual players can be smart too, and maybe you're smarter than the people who think that they're smart by playing strategically. But anyway, I'm looking actually farther ahead, because 350 candies in a week is the max, and I have way more Pokemon that I'm interested in leveling. So what if I wasn't bound by that 350 cap? What if I could use something more like 10 times that, like 3,500 candies, which is the limit we saw last year in the holiday event, and it's Candy Boost. Unlike Mini Candy Boost, which happens periodically throughout the year, Candy Boost has only happened twice ever. The very first time was in the holiday event 2023, where there were actually no limits on the amount of candy you could use, but you had to use 6 times the amount of Dream Shard to get double the EXP. Granted, 5 months into the game, most of us didn't even have that much candy to use. We didn't have Pokemon we were investing in. We didn't have a lot of Dream Shards to make that matter. Plus our research ranks were lower then, and our level caps were a lot lower. Wow, what a simpler time that was. Oh yeah, and dream clusters weren't even worth that much back then. Anyway, then for the holiday event 2024, we saw the return of Candy Boost. This time it required 5 times the amount of Dream Shards, but it was capped at 500 per day. And that's exactly what I anticipate will happen for this year in 2025. I don't think we should be underestimating that 10 times the amount of candy can be boosted during that one single week. And so if you weren't already saving up Dream Shards for your pod expansions, you should start saving now to be ready to use as many candies as you can during that week. Might sound insane, but you're giving up maybe some strength now and in the immediate term, in the short term, for a much better next year at Pokemon Sleep. And if we know one thing about Pokemon Sleep, it's just a game about opportunity cost and sacrificing short-term games for long-term games and long-term games for short-term games, and you just have to find the right balance. But I think that to look at those numbers and go, okay, yeah, maybe I'll use some candy boost during that week, and to not be ready to just use it for thousands of candies at the same time, it's like having 10 mini candy boosts in the same week, people. And if you've ever used a mini candy boost and thought that was valuable, it takes a little bit more Dream Shards, but not like a lot more. Anyway, I made a spreadsheet to help me figure out just how many Dream Shards I'm gonna need, and it helped me realize I definitely do have more Pokemon that I would be willing to use Candy Boost on than I can achieve with 3,500 candies. And I haven't forgotten the pod expansions, but more and more I'm thinking maybe I wait on the pod expansions until after the holiday event just to make sure that I have boosted Mons. Because guess what? If I have those stronger Mons, then I can run stronger next year, and I can build back up to those pod expansion numbers more quickly than I'm doing right now. And so while this tool may not be perfect, because hopefully I'll catch a Pumpkaboo and a Salamence and all those other things, that might mean I need even less Dream Shards than some of the investments that are on here. Even this week I was looking at Mimikyu as an option because of the guaranteed Ghost Berry, and I realized that it could be running stronger this week than my Golduck, and I know that I'm willing to make my Mimikyu one of my long-term investments, so it's not a bad Pokemon to invest in. But getting the double value from the candy versus the single value makes a huge difference on Mimikyu's strength, and I would have to be waiting for a long time to actually get Mimikyu up to a higher level, or I could just do it the week of Christmas. And yes, that means I'm giving up some gains on my Halloween event, but Ghost Berry's probably going to come back for next Halloween. Mimikyu will then be great at Old Gold Power Plant whenever I want to go there. It's a sacrifice that I'm willing to make for this 1 week. So if it's not already clear, that's the reason expert mode scares me. Number one, I can't guarantee what berries I'm going to get, so I don't know how good of a team that I'll actually have for the week. Number two, if that means I'm not maxing out my spawns, I'm getting less dream shards at expert mode than I would in normal mode with max spawns early in the week. And finally, in expert mode, unless I roll the berries, I'm actually putting my dream shard magnet Pokemon at a disadvantage that they don't have in normal mode. And I want to make sure I have plenty of dream shards for the holiday event because I'm hoping to use all of the candy boost every day. Now keep in mind, the holiday event should offer bonuses to dream shards like it did the past couple years, where we see dream shard magnet Pokemon doubled in effectiveness. So if you don't have a dream shard magnet Pokemon already, regardless of what happens with Amber Canyon, you might consider investing in a dream shard magnet mon from now through the end of the year to take advantage of the boosts that week. I remember last year going through Christmas and not having one of those mons powered up and getting a lot of dream shards still and thinking, I never want to go through this holiday event again without having a maxed out dream shard mon. And now I have 3 of them. There's no off weeks in Pokemon Sleep. There's just dream shard weeks. And I'm not saying you're playing right or wrong for not using the holiday event candy boost or for not or investing a dream shard magnet mon. Play however you want, of course. But keep in mind that you can always expand your pot. You can't always mini candy boost or candy boost. Now let's turn our attention to the dream shard magnet Pokemon for a minute. They are not all created equal, and at the time of recording, Swalot is the best dream shard magnet mon. I've got 2 with their main skill level maxed, and I have a Lucario who I mainly went for because he was shiny and usable, and I think he got shiny by rolling in dream shards. Who am I to judge him? Some of you might remember my Golduck tool. I repurposed that tool to build a Swalot tool. And what did I learn about my best Swalot? On great days, it could bring in as many as 45,000 dream shards. On its worst days, less than 3,000. And while I was running simulations, I even got a 53,000 day one time. But on average, it will bring about 21,000 dream shards per day. So if I'm running it for 4 days, I expect to get about 80,000 dream shards. Maybe 100,000 if I'm lucky, maybe 50,000 if I'm unlucky. And unlike Golduck, I don't need to worry about how often I log in when I'm running dream shard mons, even though I'm running them with my Golduck because it has helping bonus, and so I'm still checking the game like a maniac anyway. And while we're on the topic of spreadsheets, if anyone's interested in any of my spreadsheet tools from this or another video, happy to make them available in the channel Discord for people who are members of the channel. I'd be happy to share copies there that you can make a copy of. And on that note, thank you to our newest member, AfroNasty2000. Thank you so much for supporting my channel as a member. Let me pull up my Pokemon box and let's pay attention that the highest RP, that's research power, Pokemon in my box is Swalot, followed by 2 Energy for Everyone healers, followed by Sceptile, and then another Swalot, and this one's not even a high level. People run comparisons in Rainanex to figure out how strong Pokemon are, but strength is not the only factor. These Energy for Everyone Pokemon make your strong Pokemon perform stronger longer, and your Dream Shard Magnet Mons are getting resources that are going to allow you to get more strength later. So whenever you're about to invest in a Pokemon and increase its levels, you should be thinking, how much more strength is this actually going to get me this week compared to saving this and making it twice as strong if I wait a few weeks, and then shaving your dream shards for that purpose, or running a dream shard mon. And hopefully I'm fully able to take advantage of Candy Boost at the holiday event so that next year I am less scared of expert mode, because hopefully with much stronger Pokemon and more variety, I'll be able to do much better there. But none of that matters this week because it's Halloween and I want candy. And the best way to get candy this week is to go to green grass, normal or expert. I went to expert. I'm not that scared. And don't forget that you have to say trick or happy screen time, and thank you for subscribing for Pokemon Sleep Halloween Rotom Foolery. Happy pumpkins, people. Happy pumpkaboos. Hope you've been getting pumpkaboos. Oh my gosh, I haven't fed lunch yet. Oh my gosh, I've been recording this partway through my day today, and oh, let's just trigger everyone's skills right now with them. Pikachu, why don't you have a skill? Do you get a skill? Skill for you. Okay, Golduck. If everyone else that's a skill specialist just triggered their skills, and you didn't, oh baby, what a great time to be alive. We're skill triggering left and right. Okay, we got a Delibird candy. Will we get a skill trigger? Oh, everyone triggered their skills. This was so cool. I'm so glad that we could do this together. Oh, my ingredients are full. What the heck? Okay. We gotta get some lunch in here. We gotta. Look, we can make anything we want. Wait a minute, can we make like anything we want? All the way down to, oh, not enough Slowpoke tails. We can make a lot of stuff if we wanted to, but yeah, we'll make this. And cacao. How's your Halloween going? Have you caught anything good yet? This is going to come out a few days into the event, but I'm recording this where we can do a Halloween sleep session together. I figured that'd be more exciting than a Lapis Lakeside one, where I saw a Dragonite, but didn't catch it. Anyway, expert mode is going alright. Here's how expert mode looks on my account right now. Obviously, it's the Halloween event. We've got this sweet music going on in Halloween. Where's that berry box? I was gonna click on it and it's gone because I have to wait for the animation. Ultra 1. That means we're up to 8 spawns now, which is good for the second night. Here we go. We've got Psychic Berry, Mago. We've got Fairy Berry, Pecha. That means I'm running 2 energy for everyone healers on my team. They had a really rough day yesterday. I was complaining in the Discord about it. But guess what we got now? Pumpkaboo incense. The question is, do we use it right away? No. We're going to save that for Halloween night or for the last night of the event to get double candies on that one. The question is, or sorry, triple candies on Pumpkaboo. We got to figure out what our other triple candy option will be, and who else we want double candies on. I'll figure that out later though. Let's collect our sleep points and our daily gift. Now, one of the stressful things about expert mode to me is I'd like to make good use of my healer. Both of these healers that I'm running have Berry Finding S, and they're both, actually, okay, I was gonna say they're both level 65, but I'm pretty sure Guard is only level 64, and that's because sometimes it's gonna need to go on my sleep team, but I barely use Wigglytuff, so I just took it all the way up once upon a time. But, what? Am I just having server sync issues everywhere left and right? Okay. I don't remember what I was talking about, but I got those healers. I don't really have any other psychic Pokemon or fairy Pokemon that are like worth using. So also you'll see that there's no ghost Pokemon here. I have like any Pokemon for these berries, but I don't mind because I got the healers. I'm running Sceptile, who's pulling in triggers for me. It's looking good. Golduck's doing great, and then I'm just rotating out for ingredients. I'm running ingredient teams overnight to collect ingredients during the day so that my thing can look like this and I can make Defiant Dress coffee, whatever. I'm stocking up eggs right now for tomorrow because those are, I don't want to run Delibird overnight compared to other options I can run overnight. But anyway, that's how Halloween's going. Now, let's review our sleep session. I did use the Halloween hat EV incense, so we should see one of those. Actually, we're guaranteed to see it. So not should, we will. But mostly I just want to see Pumpkaboos right now because that's why we have this event, is to hunt Pumpkaboo. I probably won't invest in a Pumpkaboo or unlock pumpkins until after Christmas, as for reasons we just talked about, but I still want to be catching them now. So let's use our little click camera and see what we got. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so hopefully we got a new Pumpkaboo sleep style, or maybe we got both EV sleep styles. There's one. Nope, we got the same one twice. Boring. Wait, we got the 2-star one. That's the rare one, so that's nice. Why is Eevee awake in its picture? Is everyone awake in their pictures? I guess they probably are. That picture is different than the sleep style one. Now we can do this. Click, click. Haha, we caught you even faster. Alright, well, we need to get the 1-star Eevee sleep style still. And I still need to get the 2-star Witch Hat Pikachu sleep style this week sometime. Why don't you have a hat on? Oh, great. Love to see that. Okay. Here's... oh, look. Definitely isn't the same Mon. Okay. Well, there's no Pumpkaboo, so maybe I should use the incense tonight. Meowth, you're out. Fun fact, Meowth was boosted in the very first Halloween event of Pokemon Sleep. Don't need a Ghastly. Don't need you. Don't need Eevee. Don't need that Pikachu. I don't need this Eevee either, based on what it does. So... do I really want to catch 2 of them? Am I worried about it? Like, even if I got a good one of these Eevees, I don't think I would use it. I would just use my Vaporeon. So we're just gonna do this. We're gonna see if it's good. And I'm gonna be depressed because I want Pumpkaboo spots. So, sorry. That's just... hopefully this one's perfect. Oh, double Bulbasaur candies. I'm glad for that. Let's see, what else did we get? I forgot about the candies. Fluffy candies is helpful. Mary candies is helpful. If Fluffy candies are helpful, that makes sense. Also, just so everyone knows, if you're on my friends list, unless you get a shiny Witch Hat Eevee, you don't need to send me Eevee candies. Everyone's gonna have plenty of Eevee candies this week. I just got 36 Eevee candies, and I probably got 36 from friends today, and I was like, why, people? Why are we sending Eevee candies? Don't get me wrong, the Eevee hat, Witch Hat is very cute here, but do we really need Eevee candies? Alright, pumpkin, cacao, skill trigger, helping speed, ingredient finding me. Oh, main skill chance down. Some of you were like, oh, ruined, and then I was excited by the sub skills. Yep. Nope. Well, that's our catch for the day. Thanks for watching. It's a bad Eevee. It's a conflicted Eevee. It's conflicting with itself. But how's your Halloween going? Let me know about your great, good, bad catches. Come join me in the Discord. And let's do this again sometime. Happy researching.